everybody, SONGOSHUAKU'S here, and welcome to this review for WWE Greatest
Royal Rumble.
Greatest Royal Rumble, indeed. So I am here along with the man, 0001, as you guys can hear in the background. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and break down some audio content here for you for the Greatest Royal Rumble. So as you guys go about your everyday lives, whether it be a long commute to work, something to listen to in the car, or you're working out, whatever it is, this will give you something to listen to in the background. So yeah, this is a big show taking place at
Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Boom, there you go. The man 0001 coming in for me there. And everything. But yeah, this is a big deal. I hear like WWE got paid $200 million, possibly up to $200 million for this show. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of controversy, you know, surrounding around like the women not coming there because WWE wants, you know, of course, respect the country's culture. And truly, you can't change a country's culture and everything. But a lot of people look at it like, you know, you could just say, hey, screw the $200 million and we'll take our business elsewhere to a country that will allow our women to compete, especially when this is such an important time for women's wrestling when it comes to WWE. But of course, we know the all power, as Vince McMahon says in many of his promos before, it's all about the money. So yeah, but maybe there will be changes, Triple H was saying in an interview. But we're here to actually go ahead and discuss the show. I do feel bad though for the women who unfortunately were not able to compete. I mean, I think they got themselves a good 5-day vacation, but you could imagine they want to be with the company making history. But with that said, let's start off with the first match. We've got John Cena taking on the Game Triple H. So this is their first match, I believe, since 2009. I think they wrestled in a match in 2009, shortly before Survivor Series 09, where they had the triple threat match, and they kept bringing home that on pay-per-views. We all know, of course, John Cena defeated Triple H at WrestleMania 22, which the man 0001 was actually there live for, and he and Triple H came back and defeated him a couple of years ago at Night of Champions 2008, I believe, and I think they've had some TV matches since then a few times. And interesting enough, if I remember correctly, because I know me and you, man 0001, always kept track of it, Triple H actually has more victories over John Cena in single competition. Cena's mostly got his big win here at WrestleMania 22, and of course here. Hey, it was interesting. The crowd was really hot for John Cena. You know, you're not hearing the old John Cena sucks. You're not hearing that. So that was pretty cool. You know, in terms of like, you know, like, wow, I'm not like used to this, but of course, John Cena seems very well liked overseas. The match itself, I actually had a fun time watching the match. This match kind of reminded me of some of that old school, like 1980s, early 90s wrestling. Like, you know, took me back to like, not really, I mean, I was, by the time when I was born, I was honestly a toddler at the time, so I didn't get to watch Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior live, but I did get to go back and watch that match several times, and it's, you know, it reminded me of like the tests of strength or trying to overpower one another. But this match did kick into pretty high gear with Triple H and Cena exchanging some near falls, you know, hitting pedigrees, attitude adjustments, and you got, you know, Triple H doing power bombs in mid-air to Cena, which is pretty cool. Cena got some really good hang time, like almost 75% over the ring, and Triple H caught him. And I mean, I thought it was some good back and forth action, and much better than some of the recent matches we've seen with Cena. Like, that was one of my things. Like, you know, I'm not a big John Cena fan, but I'll admit the guy can put on a show when it's a big match situation, and we didn't get that with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 34. We didn't get that with Baron Corbin at SummerSlam last year, and we didn't get that with I felt like with The Miz and my Scot's teaming up to take on him and Nikki Bella. And, you know, a lot of people with the recent events of Cena and Nikki breaking up, a lot of people feel like that match result kind of, you know, nowadays is, that heart that puts a, you know, a damper on the end result there. But yeah, those matches, I felt like, you know, Cena didn't go all out. And then this was like the first time I think I've seen like a really good Cena match in a while. So overall, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. And John Cena, of course, he picked up the victory with the FU, now known as the AAs. He did about like two of them, and he like rolled up into one again, and it was pretty cool. And he beat Triple H, and I'm okay with Cena getting the victory here against Triple H because, like I mentioned, me and the man0001 kept tabs on it, and yeah, Triple H mostly through his whole career has defeated Cena one-on-one outside of WrestleMania 22, and when it comes to this, Triple H can take the loss. Cena hasn't gotten a big win, and if he's going to get a win, might as well get it over Triple H. And this was a match, actually, I didn't think I ever needed to see again, because I felt like at this stage of careers, there really any purpose in Cena and Triple H facing off, but I thought they did pretty good, and it shows the great talents that why Triple H and John Cena have become the legends in the business that they are. And that's pretty much all I got to say about this match. I'll let you go ahead and give your perspective on this match, man0001.
Yeah, this match definitely had an old school vibe to it. Had a go with the motions, go with the flow kind of motions. But first and foremost, before I go into it, look at these two losers curtain jerking the show. Look at them both. Who are these two scrubs right here?
Michael Cole said they specifically asked to open the show for such a big historical event.
Nah, they're a couple of curtain jerkers. Didn't after WrestleMania 22 happened, didn't Triple H say something about curtain jerkers? Yeah, I specifically remember that. Yeah, you said that about Edge jerking the curtain. Oh, boy. Well, that's kind of ironic since Edge did jerk the curtain in his last match, but still, look at these couple of lames right here.
This is why the man0001 is the historian, folks.
Yeah, but still, though. Yeah, this match right here definitely was very slow, very methodical.
They even told us on commentary that methodical pace that Triple H is looking to go ahead and take advantage of Cena, something like that they said on commentary.
Yeah, it was kind of slow and methodical. You know what I mean? Both of these guys are definitely coming off losses. It was kind of this match card here had kind of a feel of two big-time MMA fighters in the UFC coming off losses, in major matches, and both of them desperately just needed that one win to bring them back to some sort of prominence. It's kind of like, you're watching a couple of fighters that are, still in the prime of their career, or, or a little bit past the prime of their career, but they can still go. They can still beat fighters who are, they can't beat anyone in the top 10, in the top 5, but, anyone who's ranked number 6 and below and lower than that, they can definitely beat. So kind of like watching two gatekeepers go at it in a slow, methodical match. That's the kind of feel I got from this. So both of them, getting this match in is definitely a throw-in match, like a house show type match. Cause, because what business does Triple H and John Cena have facing each other in 2018?
Yeah, there was no build-up to the match, which is one of the things about the Royal Rumble. There was no story build-up to it.
Greatest Royal Rumble, you have to remember. This is not the Royal Rumble we saw in January. This is greatest Royal Rumble.
Greatest.
You have to remember that.
Well, yeah.
Grr.
Overall, grr, yeah.
Or grr.
Yeah. Today, WWE presents WWE grr. Alrighty. Anyways,
yeah.
hey man, but yeah, definitely I can see we agree. It was a pretty good starter opening match. So then next one was Cedric Alexander defending the Cruiserweight title, and I think it was against a mystery opponent, and it was revealed to be Kalisto, which I believe the commentators mentioned was their first time ever wrestling in WWE. Overall, I thought the match was pretty cool, fast paced. It got slowed down a little bit, and then, you know, picked up the pace again. You had a lot of flashy maneuvers going all over the place with Kalisto and Cedric Alexander. And guys, I'm just going off my initial thoughts basically in the show and everything, so I'm trying to remember everything that happened. But I believe at the end, let me see, was it Kalisto? He did I think a near fall he got a near fall, and then he got a swinging DDT. But in the end, Alexander put him away with the lumbar check, and I thought there was some pretty cool stuff overall, and the match was nice, fast-paced, and I'm glad that they were a part of the main show and not put on a pre-show, you know, so hopefully, once again, like I said, I hope Triple H's influence with what he's doing with the 205 live wrestlers eventually, you know, allows them to be taken more serious by the general WWE fans, you know, because Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and the way they had the cruiserweights portrayed on Raw and SmackDown, I don't think really did a lot of people favors from the talents that these guys have in the ring. Anybody who watched the network special really saw that with the Cruiserweight Classic. So overall, yeah, I thought it was a fun match, and I'll let you go on before we move to the next match. Any thoughts you have about this match, Man 0001?
It reminded me of an old WCW Cruiserweight Championship match from Nitro, you know, from Nitro or Thunder or something. You know what I mean? It's not too particularly spectacular, but it was a serviceable match for the show, and it was something that you know, it was definitely a good match for a, you know, for a showcase match, because a lot of people have to remember that, you know, that night at Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, you know, this night right here was a showcase night. A lot of the matches on this card were showcase matches. You know, these weren't like to advance storylines too much or interfere with WWE canon too much. But, you know, it's kind of like, you know, Garlic Jr. saga a little bit. You know,
For those of you who are Dragon Ball fans,
you know, I mean, I mean, for those who are interested in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, GT, or, you know, Evolution or Super, you all know what the Garlic Jr. saga is. But, you know, in terms of what it means to WWE canon, now, that's right, you know what I mean, outside of maybe the match that's going to happen a little bit later, I won't spoil it right now, but yeah, this right here was a good showcase match for the Cruiserweights. Really showed Saudi Arabia what the Cruiserweights were all about, and it showed that that yes, even the Cruiserweights can go.
Yeah, very well said. And then we move on to the next match, which was I guess you can't technically call this a triple threat tag team match, so I guess we'll go with a what would we say, 4.5 triple threat tag team match, which featured Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, versus the current Raw Tag Team Champion or Champions, Vacant. All right, I'm just joking around.
No. You have to understand, it's vacant and to be announced. They're tag team.
Vacant and to be announced. You know, Vacant always finding a way to become a champion somewhere, some way. No, but for real, guys, we had the Broken Universe of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt taking on Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar. I thought it was a fairly standard match, but in the end, it did what it needed to do, and that's get the titles on Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. It was nice to see that the crowd there in Saudi Arabia were happy to do the delete chants and everything. I thought that was really cool. And in the end, we actually got to see I guess the Broken Universe, or the Woken Universe, if that's going to be their team, we got to see them do their specialty, which I guess was like an elevated twist of fate, and this is what allowed them to win the tag titles. And so Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt continue their momentum as Raw Tag Team Champions, and we can consider this, I guess, the Bar's swan song for Monday Night Raw. So like I said, I don't think the match was anything really special, but it did what it needed to do. It was a standard match, and yeah, I'm really enjoying Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt as a tag team. I like the entrance, really cool. So that being said, what do you have to say about the match, Man0001?
What I have to say about this match is this. You know what I mean? It was a pretty decent match. Again, it was another showcase match, but it was another showcase match, but it was a showcase match with with severe consequences. It wasn't an inconsequential match like most matches this night would be, but seeing those two win, it shows that Matt Hardy has definitely become more effective on screen, and he's become a more effective character than he ever has, and at least since his Matt Hardy version 1 days back when he was on SmackDown in 2002, 2003. Now Woken, aka Broken Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt being put together is the best thing to happen in both those guys' careers at this point. Because you think about what they were doing up till that point a few years ago. You had Matt Hardy, looking like he's broken down. People poking and prodding at him online saying, Fat Lardy should retire and everything. And then you have Bray Wyatt in recent years, ever since, also a few years ago, taking L's to John Cena and The Undertaker, which is nothing to be ashamed of at WrestleMania, But it's like, yeah, come on now. Then you take another L, to Randy Orton, and then you don't even be on the main card for this year. WrestleMania. Hopefully this right here leads to them doing something next year at WrestleMania for sure. But yeah, these two are amazing as a tag team, and it's the best thing to happen for this tag team's the best thing to happen for both guys' careers. For both guys' careers within the WWE, of course. I'm sure Matt Hardy had quite the following on outside of the WWE in terms of his broken/woken character. And enough about that. Let's get down to the match. Between another thrown together team of single superstars. A lot of people don't know that these are four guys who are throw together tag teams. So it's just like, but this match right here was a serviceable match. For a showcase, you got Bar there, you having their swan song, as SONGOSHUAKU'S said earlier. They're having their swan song from Raw, but, I'm going to miss the Bar being on Raw. And, I'm going to miss them being on Raw. Hopefully Sheamus' career can last a little bit longer. I know he has spinal stenosis, and I know he's in a lot of pain, he being a person who's had spinal injuries before. Took me out for 7 months. I was paralyzed. Started walking, in 7 months after that happened. But yeah, it's, luckily. But for Sheamus, I hope he's taking care of himself, and I hope that things are going well for him. And as for Cesaro, I hope, in the event that does happen, that he does get treated well, and hopefully he does get a major singles push someday. But as for this match, again, serviceable showcase match, for a WWE showcase pay-per-view like Greatest Royal Rumble. Back to you, SONGOSHUAKU'S.
Very well said. Definitely showcase matches. We're gonna get to which was probably, honestly, my least favorite match of the night. Not saying it was horrible, just it didn't really do too much, you know. It just, and that's Jeff Hardy defending the United States Championship against Jinder Mahal. I may have actually even liked their Monday Night Raw match better. And you know, that was cool. We got to see Jeff Hardy come out to Pyro. I really wish they go back to No More Words as his entrance theme, because don't get me wrong, I love the old classic Hardy's theme, but I believe it's some stock music, and I always felt it's better.
It is.
Yeah, I just felt it's better to use that for Matt and Jeff. Yeah, I remember watching back on Spike TV one time. It may have been for a racing car commercial. I'm like, is that the Hardy's theme? It is.
It was on various shows like Mansers and 1,000 Ways to Die and Deadliest Warrior.
But the thing is,
I remember
there is nostalgia with that theme. But I think it's best when Matt and Jeff are teaming up to use it. I like Edge and Christian. I love that Edge and Christian had their own separate themes, but if they team up, you had the original You Think You Know Me that he used to use back in the Attitude Era. Now, for whatever reason, they just like to use Edge's theme song. I don't understand that every time the guys do make an appearance back. Excuse me.
Well,
but
the funny thing is, Think You Can Know Me song was Edge's theme song originally.
True.
Yeah,
and Christian
yeah,
just
so
kind of went
like,
along with it. But I just, my thing though is I just wish that it would say something exclusive for the tag team though. So I hope that we get to hear No More Words, and I really love that song. But then you had Jinder Mahal came out, and he got booed heavily. Obviously, right? But it wouldn't be the last time that we see someone representing another country get booed. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But with that being said, this match was pretty standard. But the big thing about this match that I most remember is, and this is where I wish we could have Too Sweet Cosplays Steve-O on us, because he's very outspoken about not liking Jinder Mahal as a performer. I would love to have gotten
Hey, not to cut you off, but speaking of which, though, what if he was there and Jinder Mahal won the title?
Steve-O, what did we tell you about going to those WWE events? Hey, I'm still keeping my prediction. I think he's going to win Money in the Bank just because Steve-O's going to be in the crowd. Now, if you guys want to know the joke to that, check out our WrestleMania review. We have the whole segment talking about there where Steve-O is with us. But, yeah, this spot here, Jeff Hardy goes for the Whisper in the Wind and completely misses Jinder Mahal, and Jinder Mahal sells it anyway, so apparently he got knocked out by an air whisper in the wind. And you even heard
he really did get knocked out by the whisper in the wind.
And you have Corey Graves tries to make up for this on commentary by saying he didn't get all of it, but I guess when Jeff Hardy landed on the canvas, it must have went ahead and sent a shockwave or something, and the vibrations of the mat must have gone ahead and sweep Jinder Mahal's right up under his feet. I appreciate Corey trying to save it, but I'm like, that sounds like something the fans would make up. And I guess the impact sent a shockwave to Jinder's feet, and Jinder sold it hard.
That sounds like a Dana White kind of explanation. If he gets caught in the middle of a lie, he's like, "No, I never said that." Somebody pulls up a YouTube clip of him. And then he's like, so now what? We're believing stuff on YouTube? That's clearly you. No, that's something that's on the internet. Are you telling me that you believe everything on the internet? No, not necessarily. So come on now, really, come on now. You come on now. Get him the fuck out of here. He's lying his ass off, telling me about lies on the internet. Clearly that's Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. That's not me.
Hey, dude, you know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of that spot in TNA where I think it was a table match or something, but I think it was like Bully Ray and was it Bobby Roode or something? I forget who was in the ring, but the idea was that I think Bobby Roode's, once again, someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think Bobby Roode's foot was supposed to hit the referee, but they were a few, maybe like a foot or so off, in terms of distance. So instead of improvising, the referee kind of didn't know what to do, and so after Bobby Roode goes through the table, the referee just ends up doing some sort of stutter step and falls down, and you're like, what? This is what it reminded me of. And I know botches happen, but I guess in these moments,
I remember that.
yeah, I guess
It reminded me of Mortal Kombat's Johnny Cage talking about, this is where you fall down.
I guess in these moments, it happens, botches happen, and I guess Jinder Mahal basically, he didn't know how to improvise that part there, which this is the reason why I wanted to have Steve on for specifically this one. He would probably point to this very spot and say this is why he doesn't like Jinder Mahal as a performer, and that he, you know what Steve-O is like? You know what Steve-O? He's probably like Eric Killmonger from what is it, the Black Panther, where
Black
he's
Panther.
where he's going like, was this your WWE champion? Was this your WWE champion?
Was this your champion in WWE? Was this your champion?
Exactly. That's
Was
right.
this, no. As a matter of fact, is this your modern day Maharaja? Is this your modern day Maharaja?
Oh boy, man. So yeah, Steve-O, you are greatly missed in this review if you're listening to this right now. But that being said, this kind of took me out the match. I at this point I'm like, all right, let's just get it over with. Let's end this and move to the next match, Jeff Hardy. And of course, Jeff Hardy gets the Swanton Bomb and retains the title. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like that took me out of the match. And obviously, this is most of what I've been able to talk about with the match. But overall, like I said, I didn't think the match was anything. It like you've been saying, showcase. It did what it needed to do. And honestly, that would have been the botch of the night. But as we'll get to later in our Royal Rumble, heat.
There's more.
Yeah, any heat this botch may have gotten from people watching this match is greatly erased. So, thankfully, we won't remember this. In terms of botches, this match will not be remembered for Jinder Mahal's botch. We'll get to that later. But until then, you got anything you want to add about this match, the man 0001?
Oh man, this match right here. Man, it's just a showcase match. It's like, it did what it needed to do. It got Jinder Mahal his rematch. He got to lose. He got to move the fuck on. Jeff Hardy got to move on to SmackDown, and we moved on, and we totally forgot about this match, and it never happened. But wait a second. Here comes a person of the supposed IWC. But it did happen. Technically, it never fucking happened. But you see, it never happened. Okay.
It's like that King of the Hill episode where they had the tornado and Luann's like, the thing that I remember most is when Uncle Hank, and like, that never happened. Yeah, it did. That's why it never happened. And something like that. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's not the best Luann impression, but those who watch King of the Hill, you guys remember. And we shall move on indeed. Hey, we got the Bludgeon Brothers defending their tag team titles against the Usos. Now I actually remember, like, was it back in 2014? These guys had a pretty good match. I don't know if it was at a show. It was one of those summer shows, pay-per-view shows. They had a really good match back when they were part of the Wyatt family. This really didn't live up to what that was. This was more about Harper and Rowan being dominating over the Usos. The Usos did get more. They got more. They got more offense in this than they did in the WrestleMania match, but this was kind of really more so a showcase for Harper and Rowan just being this destructive team. So I guess the story that WWE is trying to tell here is that the Usos were so dominating of a tag team, beating everyone left and right, even competitive matches back and forth with the New Day, is that here they've met their match with the Bludgeon Brothers. So I guess they're going to end with the Usos and they're probably going to move on to the New Day next. But But yeah, Harper and Rowan pick up the win. I'm glad for the Bludgeon Brothers to get this moment and get some time to shine with some tag titles with the gold, or in this case the silver. But with that said in mind, though, we know both these teams are capable of having much more competitive matches. So I guess we're just going to deal with the Bludgeon Brothers just running through teams left and right on SmackDown. But overall, hey, it did what it did. It showcased Rowan and Harper. That's pretty much. But like I said, I was a more bigger fan of some of the matches we saw from them in 2014. What's your thoughts on this match?
Oh boy, this match right here, I felt low energy. Felt like it was a match that just had to happen. You know what I mean? It's just something that just had to happen. Had to get them out. Had to get it out the way. It's funny that they had to compete for they had to compete so they can have a rematch for a championship they lost. So
yeah, that was weird. I mentioned that in the last review. Like, what the heck is the continuity in this company when it comes to rematch clauses? Oh my gosh. Yeesh. Yeah, man, but hey, let's go on to one of the matches that I thought was one of the best matches of the night, and that's Seth Rollins defending the Intercontinental Championship against Samoa Joe, The Miz, and Finn Balor. Now, one of the things we were just actually talking about this before we started recording is, once again, WWE has to respect the culture, that Finn Balor, he didn't come out with his, the new rainbow jacket that he has, where his message is that, regardless of your sexual preference, your skin color, your religion, what country you're from, the Balor Club is for everybody. But here, Finn Balor's just back in his regular black jacket and black tights and everything, and that's just one of the things coming over that they have to go by those rules there in Saudi Arabia. And there was even something I just got through reading that some fans were bashing them just as they were for not using women on this show. Like they were questioning this, like, hey, Finn Balor is supposed to be all about for everyone now, and they didn't showcase that on that. And WWE said they're just trying to respect the culture. And Corey Graves himself actually went ahead and I think maybe took a dig at the country, possibly. Just saying be thankful, there's a lot of places where women have it worse and everything and stuff like that. So, we can get what has been said. As we mentioned to the beginning, it's, at the end of the day, like Vince McMahon said in his promo, it's all about the money, right? So, but it's unfortunate, this is what Finn Balor is now showing. And, we were talking in the WrestleMania review how it's really cool, to see Finn Balor, embracing this and sending this great message of love. And unfortunately, for one night only, just like we won't get to see the women for one night only, and they're going to have another show in November, so maybe for 2 nights only, we won't get to see this wonderful message being spread. That being said, though, I thought the match was nice and hard hitting. It wasn't the most flashiest ladder match, but I think it's a good showing that it didn't have to be flashy. It just had to be hard hitting, and that's what it was. You had The Miz, who really was selling the crap out of his stomach, being hit with a ladder. He had a lot of cool spots where I think at one point was it I forget who Balor put on, it may have been Joe, where Joe was under the, it was either Miz or Joe that was under the ladder, and he did the coup de grace. And even the commentators, I think Corey Graves was mentioning something about how that his foot he could have shattered his ankles if this goes wrong. You had some really other cool spot. I remember Joe setting the ladder up in the corner at one point, and when he walking away, I'm like, oh gosh, run, and I thought the ladder was gonna come back and hit him in the head, but it didn't. I mean, let's see, Finn Balor also got his eye was busted at one point. I remember Miz doing a skull-crushing finale on Joe on the ladder, and they were even mentioning like, oh my gosh, I could have broken his jaw. There was a lot of really cool spots, I think, in this, not like flashy spots, but just like really cool spots where they were really beating the crap out of each other with the ladder. And then the ending of the match you have Finn Balor climbing up the ladder slowly, and Rollins jumps on the ladder out of nowhere and grabs the runs up and grabs the Intercontinental title and just drops off, and he just stole it right up, literally right over Finn Balor. And when they played it back in slow motion, it kind of looked funny because, like, why don't you just punch him in the gut instead of still trying to reach and go up another ladder? I actually thought about you, man, 0001, during this ending, and I'm gonna see, am I correct that when you saw the ending to this match?
Uh-huh. Oh, Finn Balor. You gotta be quicker than that. No, but that's not what I was thinking.
Okay, that's what I was thinking though when I did see that one. But hey, before I let you go, I'll say my closing thoughts on this match. Overall, I liked it. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. There, like I said, there was a lot of cool spots with Joe, like doing the power bomb on Rollins while they threw what's his name, Miz, out because they put the ladder and stuff. It's just really cool stuff. I thought it was a nice ladder match that wasn't flashy, but these four guys showed how talented they were. They made a nice, good ladder match without all the flashy, high-level spots. That being said, go ahead, man. 0001, what's your thoughts on this Fatal 4-Way ladder match? I thought it was one of the best matches of the night.
My thoughts on this match is it was the best match of the night, in my opinion. You know, for me, watching this match, looking at this match, it was a great, hard-hitting ladder match. Told a story. It let us know in WWE's mid-card, coming over from Raw, what was going on in WWE's mid-card, and looking at this match, it was, it had a few spots with the ladders, it had a few double teams with the ladders. You had Samoa Joe's, Samoa Joe and The Miz tell a little bit of a mini story of treachery, You know what I mean? If you're a heel, you cannot trust another heel. It was like nothing but treachery. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny when Miz got pulled in. With the handshake, and Samoa Joe just did the elbow. Yeah. Freaking Samoa Joe's got this cool swagger about him when he comes out, man. I really hope big things await him on the for SmackDown division. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. So as I was saying, though, Samoa Joe comes in. Both of them are showing treachery, and Samoa Joe shows that he's more treacherous than The Miz is, and both of them are getting up there and everything else. And you have Finn Balor. He's going out there and he's putting his all into this match. He's really the MVP of this match, in my opinion. And then you have Seth Rollins come out there. Fun fact: the same outfit Seth Rollins wore in this match was the same outfit he wore in SummerSlam of 2016 when he and Finn Balor faced off for the WWE Universal Championship.
Oh, cool. I thought a lot of wrestlers were just wearing green to represent the Saudi colors, but pretty cool. They probably were. It just so happened to be that one, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so, because Seth Rollins hasn't come out with his top piece. And he hasn't come out with his top best jacket type deal, in a long time. As of late, he's been coming out with his T-shirt, or the T-shirt of the brand he's representing, or the T-shirt of the team he's on.
I didn't even notice that. And that's probably one of the reasons I really like seeing him come out in his entrance, because I guess I hadn't recognized that. Yeah, man, cool, nice observation. But Seth Rollins came. He comes out in that, and at the closing moments of the match, you have Finn Balor, who had just fought off, The Miz and Samoa Joe. He's climbing the ladder, and Seth Rollins comes in at the last minute, and he snatches that shit. He snatched it right off the fucking ladder. My thoughts on that moment of the match was player 2 has left, player 2 has left the gaming session. I got another video game reference coming later on, but go on.
Yeah, but that's what it reminds me of. Player 2 has left the gaming session, or has logged out. It's like, you play an online game, or you playing a game like one of those old school games that didn't sense when the controller was unplugged. Nope. this time around, it's just like, yeah, player two has left the gaming session, so yeah, that's just that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, hey man, that's pretty good stuff. I could totally agree. I think we may have missed one part too. The 15 they did a 15-minute prayer break, which I believe is a tradition over there in Saudi Arabia for the
It's
sporting events. And during this moment,
yeah.
this is where we got to cut to Brian Saxon, Jerry the King Lawler, and Jim Ross and Booker T. Who actually I thought Jim Ross and King were actually going to be calling the Greatest Royal Rumble, but I guess not. But
Oh no.
hey, maybe I read that wrong or something. But it was cool to see Jerry the King Lawler and Jerry the King Lawler and Jr. do an appearance and everything. But wow, man, we only got them for like 15 minutes. We got to see Booker T, and so I thought they would make more use of these guys. I also thought they mentioned something about they would recap the second half of the show, which never happened. But it was cool seeing them. This is actually a part where I didn't get to watch this live. I actually went on a 15-minute break at work, and I used my 15-minute break to go ahead and watch this. So I'm like, am I at the pre-show? And then I realized now, having watched the whole show, that it was during the prayer break, which makes sense now because at the time when I first saw it, I'm looking like Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan usually get two of the biggest pops, and there's no reaction for them at all. I'm like, wow. And now I understand they probably weren't showing it in the arena. That was just something exclusive for us watching at home. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. It was nice to see. Jim Ross had a few things. He had his pick for Braun Strowman. So Jim Ross basically, you could say, called it, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's see. After that Fatal 4-Way ladder match, you had the ring announcer introduced. It was WWE's the winners that WWE had for of their Saudi Arabia tryouts, and they were all in the ring. I forget their names. I thought the guy with the long hair showed a lot of passion in what he was saying and everything. I think he has some really good potential there for promos. And they had the Daivari brothers. Now I haven't seen Daivari since he was in TNA and WWE. It's been years. Man. So I remember going back to the Great Khali and him teaming with Kurt Angle a lot back in like 2006. Now I don't follow 205 Live, so if you people out there, if you do, I guess he may have returned to 205, or maybe this is just something for a special occasion. But it was really cool. They came out, as we mentioned, to major heat, saying their country of was it Iran was far superior. The fans were booing. You just got massive heat. They kept the offense pretty simple when basically after both brothers were trash talking, and all the prospects came back and went ahead and basically knocked them out, which kind of looked foolish, like why you two are gonna try and take on these four guys and stuff. But it was there, to give it a feel good moment. And hey, I'm very happy for all four of these guys getting the opportunity to WWE, and I wish them the absolute best. Anytime people who've worked their butts off for years to get to the WWE, I could just only hope that the company does well by them. As we know, a lot of times, not so much. There's a lot of talented wrestlers we're not seeing get pushed the way they should be. But hopefully it works out for these four individuals. Anything you'd like to add on about this segment?
Yeah, it was a good segment. I'm glad to see some guys get an opportunity, getting a shot, especially coming all the way from from a faraway country like Saudi Arabia, getting an opportunity to be in the WWE. I'm just curious as to how they will be used and everything. Hopefully they're not using stereotypical storylines or anything else. I hope they actually get real characters and real character development as their careers go on. And I got a little bit excited seeing the Sean Daivari back.
Yeah, same here.
And he got to be out there with Ari and Daivari.
Yes, brother.
And both of them were representing, both of them got to be out there and they got to represent Iran while it was being in Saudi Arabia. That's like bringing a Canadian. For those of y'all who don't know that, it's like bringing a Canadian flag around with you, and being in America. While kind of like back in 1997 when the when the Hart Foundation did it. So I mean, it's not like too much tensions going on between those countries. It's just what I mean. That's like their Canada. So Iran is like their Canada. So I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it's kind of like. Bringing that out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the countries get along. They get along good enough to not be at war with each other or anything, but good enough where they're not at war with each other. But some of the people just don't like some of the people from the other country, just just due to national pride. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, good. They went in for the for the hometown heat and everything and stuff that they were going to generate, and they got it. And yeah, like I said, it was great seeing Sean Daivari again. All right, and then we move on to the first of the main title championship matches, and this is basically the second meeting between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship in the WWE, and of course, I believe this is their overall third match. Now, for those of you that listened to our WrestleMania review, I stated that I did not see the New Japan Pro Wrestling match yet, so that was actually my first time seeing them wrestle. Well, I actually did finally get the chance today, as of the recording that we're recording this on, did get the chance to actually go ahead and watch that match, and I thought the New Japan match that they had was incredible. And I gotta be honest, after watching it, it completely blows their WrestleMania match that takes place 2 years afterwards completely out of the park. So I was hoping that this match would be would at least come close to what the New Japan Pro Wrestling match and deliver the type of match that these guys they could do. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. I thought this was far better than their WrestleMania match. Dude, I love the new Shinsuke Nakamura theme. I've been playing that.
Oh man, I love it too.
When I first heard it, during my workout, was at Tuesday night. I was working out to that at 1 a.m. in the morning, listening to that. I've been listening in my car. I just been loving it. I think it's called Shadows of the Sun by Shadows of a Setting Sun. But I love it. It has that cool Nakamura, still the same sort of tune, but he has lyrics to it, and the lyrics basically I know translate a lot about how we're seeing Nakamura's true power now, and that this is the true person who he is, and now he's gonna be #1 and stuff. So yeah, I totally dig it. But yeah, this match right here, good stuff, really good stuff. They were going at it, hard hitting, all that cool. I saw some of the hard hitting action that I saw similar in the New Japan Pro Wrestling match, where they were exchanging kicks, and Nakamura's doing all his his punching strikes, and AJ comes back, with the back forearm, and exchanging the cool submissions. You get the calf, the calf crusher in there, and Nakamura get into the ropes. You get all the other cool exchange of blows they were doing. Nakamura, putting in the arm bar, and this match just was faster paced, and it had more near falls, and it just seemed like it fast forward the match to the get go. They did some of the same stuff they did in their WrestleMania match, but it was kind of just very slow and methodical. This was so much faster paced. I was enjoying this. Really good stuff. And at the end of the match, basically during the referee, AJ Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Nakamura gets out the way, and he almost hits the referee, but stops, and then Nakamura goes for I would say, one of the what I've been calling the most epic low blows in what I've seen in WWE history. And dude, at some point, Road Dogg writes the main stories for SmackDown. AJ Styles got to sit down with Road Dogg or study out of Road Dogg's book from King of the Ring 1999, because when Chyna got that low blow in, she learned her lesson, and you don't give Road Dogg a low blow. So I'm waiting for them to do that spot where he goes for the low blow and Nakamura's arms in pain because AJ pulls out a cup. You gotta do that. But yeah, that's basically where that goes. And then the match sort of goes out of control. They fight to the outside, and AJ just goes ballistic on Nakamura and gets a 10 count and wears him out with chair shots. And this feud is basically not over. So yeah, I felt like this match was kicking into really high gear, but I do like what I'm seeing, and I think this at least means their next match will be even better, but they might gonna have to go the route of a no-holds-barred match or something like this, moving forward now, but, yeah, man, I like the match. I did. I thought it was, like I said, you told me before you thought this was this is the best WWE match they had, but I thought this is a good second to their New Japan match, and they put out more performance like this, and just basically they're gonna have to, I think, up the intensity because we've seen standard wrestling matches now from them. But yeah, overall, I did definitely enjoy this. This was much better than their WrestleMania match, and the crowd was a lot more into this one too than the crowd at New Orleans for WrestleMania at the Superdome. So yeah, I enjoyed the match, but the ending, I'm like, they had to do it somewhere. So yeah, not a decisive finish. Overall, what did you think about this match, Man 0001?
I think it's their best WWE match that they've had. It was a showcase match it was a showcase match for sure, and a lot of people need to realize that this is a showcase. This is not not to really interfere with what's going on too much within the main WWE canon, but yeah, this right here was a showcase match. It was what I mean. A lot of people need to also understand that this is kind of like a house show but with a major stage. So that's the best way to describe it. Show this now, so that's the best way to describe this this match. Because I really like this match. It was a really good match, but again, it's a house show type match. It's a house show type ending, so that's that.
So next we had The Undertaker taking on the main representative of Rusev Day. Sorry if I just killed you guys' ears. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, didn't you actually had something interesting, a note that you wanted to point out to me, Man 0001, about the last time that The Undertaker was in Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, fun fact. Last time WWE was in Saudi Arabia, The Undertaker was WWF champion then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he had that. That's when he was took part in that infamous feud with Vader when he attacked that announcer and was about to kill him. So
yeesh,
wow. So that's that's what that. So that right there is what happened. And funny thing is, if Vader was still wrestling with the company, he would have definitely 20-year ban lifted by the time of this show.
Wow. Like I said, I think I maybe remember seeing that on YouTube before. But hey, this match I was expecting to be about 2 minutes. But I actually ended up clocking this match in at 9 minutes and 39 seconds. So, wow, who would have thought we actually would get a near 10-minute full match with The Undertaker? So, the entrance was definitely
in
long.
2018, nonetheless.
The entrance was definitely long, but Undertaker and Rusev, and Rusev was joking about how on Twitter, bury me softly, right, in the build-up for this. They kept switching.
Softly, brother.
Yeah, this match kept being built up so much because apparently there was a lot of rumors going around that there was heat on Rusev, but it was just Vince McMahon couldn't make up his mind. He thought Rusev, then he's like, let's go with Jericho. Nah, I'll go back to Rusev, and like, okay. Rusev actually got a lot of offense in this match. I noticed in this match they relied a lot on just like punching back and forth, exchanging punches back and forth, and that's basically what happened a lot of the match to kind of sort of fill out the time. And I guess this way Undertaker didn't have to take too many bumps. Taker got all his signature moves in, and they kept doing the whole. I felt like we went back in time, like in like it's 90s Undertaker facing facing those big guys that he's gonna try and put in a casket match. Like, yeah, like Rusev's doing the whole shtick where he gets on the casket and he's afraid of the casket, and I'm like, I don't know. It felt like this was out of place in 2018. Like I was like, Rusev's afraid of the casket. I'm like, okay. But anyways, match was I thought better than the match against Cena at WrestleMania. Like I said, Taker didn't take too many bumps, but the match they did. It was pretty much more so a brawl, and at the end he ended up getting the choke slam on the Rusev, put him in the casket, and then what is it? Aiden English came out, and he ended up getting. I thought Aiden English did a pretty cool song too. As he always does a fantastic job getting the crowd hyped for Rusev Day. Hey, there were Rusev Day chants even in Saudi Arabia. So Rusev over internationally. And with that said in mind, yeah, Undertaker does the tombstone. Looked like he actually really came down on Aiden English's neck, head. At least that's what it looked like in the replay. So then he basically puts both of them in the coffin, and Taker had a little trouble trying to get to it, reach the coffin, but he finally got it and nailed it shut, and Taker walks away. I find it funny that Undertaker had a longer, more competitive match with Rusev and didn't pull down the straps, but for Cena, who he completely annihilated at WrestleMania, oh, he had to take the straps down for that, indicating like Taker's been through a tough battle. So I thought it was pretty funny. So I guess the biggest thing I can say, as I knew Rusev was going to lose, I'm pretty sure a lot of us knew it, but I'm glad they at least didn't make Rusev looked like a total jabroni. You know, they at least had Rusev go in there and give the fight to Taker a little bit. So what can be said? There you go. As far as should the Undertaker be wrestling, if this is what we're gonna get out of his performances, we already went through that before, and it's like, I don't know, Taker has nothing left to prove at this point, but it looks like he will continue to be wrestling, and at least I'll say this, he moved around a lot better. It most likely looks like it was indeed just the bad hip from last year that was making him move around. That was making him move around like that. But you know, as you alluded to before, you know, Undertaker's not the same Undertaker that he was, you know, even 10 years ago, maybe not even 5 years ago. So yeah, it is what it is. But I will always have great respect for the Undertaker. He is a true legend. But yeah, I feel like there's nothing left for him to prove at all. Yeah. So with that said in mind, man, 0001, what was your thoughts on this casket match?
This right here is it's a semi-competitive match between Rusev and the Undertaker, with the Undertaker getting him getting the Duke at the end, him getting the win. You know, I mean, one of the things that's really stands out in this match, besides, you know, the obvious, you know, Rusev lasting longer and having a more competitive match with the Undertaker than John Cena did, was Aiden English taking that tombstone pile driver. It looked like he injured his neck or something. It was really gruesome looking, the way he took that. You know, it was almost like Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin all over again, except he had the knees on there. I don't know what's really going on with that. I hope Aiden English is okay. As far as this match goes, it was a showcase match. The Undertaker showed up. He put on a serviceable match that almost lasted 10 minutes. And Rusev got a little bit more of a shine on him, you know, and of course, even though Rusev lost, it's still Rusev Day worldwide.
Cool, cool, very cool, man. Yeah, I hope Aiden English was definitely okay. And in our next match, we got something else. There's someone else who I was gonna be hoping is okay. Talking about landing on your head, eesh. And so with that said in mind, we go to Brock Lesnar defending the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. This is their third match, one-on-one match in WWE. So I said there was going to be a video game reference earlier in this review, and for those of you who have played WWE SmackDown games, SmackDown vs. Raw, they probably still doing the 2K games as well, you have usually sometimes the option to have your specialty finishing move. You can put it up to 5 and just spam them right at the beginning of the match. That's what this felt like. Just spam. The thing about these Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns matches, if it's competitive, I think it's cool. But there's so much spamming of like it feels like someone gives you a bag and they say, okay, you're going to go into battle, but you can only use what's in this bag. Well, there's only 3 weapons in there. I need more. Well, that's all you're going to use. Now make the most of it. Like, it's like Roman Reigns and Brock let's just use 3 moves and call it a day and just spam those over and over and over. We know both are more capable of doing more, but with that said in mind, you had tons of F5s and spears in this. They used the cage. So the thing about this match is it's more like Roman Reigns this time was the one who dominated the match. With tons of spears and throwing Lesnar in, and they didn't mention this, which I wish they would have done in commentary. There's a point where Roman Reigns is about to walk out the cage, and Paul Heyman comes in, and he throws the cage right into Roman Reigns. This is significant because this is the first time I believe Paul Heyman has interfered in a match since 2013 at SummerSlam against CM Punk, whereas the past 5 years, Brock Lesnar's been so dominating of a force, Paul Heyman has not even had to intervene in the match. So I wish the commentators would have played up more on that. One of the big deals, though, in this match is Roman Reigns is towards the top of the cage, and Brock Lesnar basically goes up after him, and he gets Roman down eventually, and Roman gets him down on his shoulders to do the power bomb. And eventually what happens is Brock goes through the ropes. And I'm pretty sure this had you cracking up, man. 0001. This is this takes me back to who you guys out there remember 1999 St. Valentine's Day Massacre? How the Big Show intervened in the Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin match. Well, this is pretty much the ending we got here. Roman Reigns goes for the spear through the ropes, and it's a cool visual. He spears Brock Lesnar through the side of the cage, and they both come crashing down. And I mentioned, speaking of head shots, basically looking like someone landing on their head, and they play in slow motion. Looks like Roman Reigns landed right on his head. I guess he's okay. I didn't read anything, but hopefully he's okay. Like, that looked very nasty, very sick. But the whole visual looked great. So when the match was done, they rang the bell. I'm like, oh, so it's a draw. But they announced that Brock Lesnar, because his back hit first, retains the Universal Championship. And Michael Cole mentions how, well, yeah, but Roman's feet hit the ground first when he rolled off to the side of the cage, so there's controversy here. So I guess they want to continue the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns feud, which a lot of people thought that, oh, they're going to have Roman Reigns win the Universal title here because they want to get a better reaction, which he did not get booed. There may have been a few boos, but he obviously is not disliking Saudi Arabia like he is in the United States of America or other parts of the country, other parts of the world, as WrestleMania is filled with tons of international fans. So that being said, I feel like there's no reason for this feud to continue. Roman really shouldn't have gotten this rematch in the first place because he didn't win the title. So I wouldn't see the reason.
Out of waste.
Yeah, I wouldn't see why they would need to even do a rematch. There's like, he didn't win the title, so Brock wouldn't have a rematch clause. They just gave him this rematch out of nowhere, and the storyline explanation was that Brock asked for this match, and I don't know why you would ask when you won. You had nothing left to prove. But this is twice now that Roman has lost. So what they're telling us, the WWE audience, is that Roman can't beat Brock straight up. No, like Roman basically, he either gets beaten by Brock straight up, or he loses because of his basically because he has he's his own lack of being aware of his surroundings in terms of this time the steel cage. It's just, if you're trying to build this guy as the top guy, I feel like both these outcomes did no favors for Roman Reigns. And we talked heavily in the WrestleMania review about, it feels like you're wasting people's time. So at this point, I'm guessing, and they already mentioned that Brock had been like champion for like, 390 days or something close to that level. So I think they're really going to try to go with the CM Punk thing at this point now and say that, hey, he is the longest reigning top world champion, overall world champion in WWE's modern day history. And I just think that that's basically what they're trying to do. I basically just think that overall that's what they're trying to do. And when it comes to that, I don't know. We got to see what they're going to do. I guess they're going to have them surpass CM Punk's reign, and then we see where they go from this. At this point, you might as well go with someone new. I wish that we get a Bobby Lashley versus Lesnar match, but it looks like we might not get it according to some reports. So yeah, I just shake my head at this. Like, what are they doing? And I just read reports that now there's, some morale's going down among, not a healthy business environment, because all the production people at WWE that make like the posters and magazines or stuff of that nature and promotional material, they were told Roman Reigns was winning, so they spent all their time making this stuff, and then out of nowhere WWE worked them, and Brock Lesnar walks away again to keep things very secretive. And it's like, man, these guys worked on all this stuff and it was for nothing, because it's like, are you wasting people's time? Or man, I just shake my head. I saw a meme that says people back at WrestleMania 32 were saying, boo, get the title off of Roman. Now they're like, come on, put the title on Roman already. And that might just be fatigue because people are tired of Brock Lesnar's title reign. Yeah, man, I don't know. I shake my head. I guess they're going to continue this feud. What, they're going to keep this going to SummerSlam? Really? Yeah, man, I shake my head. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Like I said, I like Roman Reigns. I don't think the way they've pushed him, though, I'm not a fan of the way they've pushed him, trying to make him the guy. I think it's too forced. It's like they're force feeding them. But if Roman Reigns your guy, then go with it and do it. Like, what? Like, it's like, are you for Roman Reigns being the guy, or are you not? Or what are you doing? Because there's so many talented guys like Braun Strowman and stuff, and like I said, Joe, who have been sacrificed through this whole Brock Lesnar title reign, that could be in these top title spots. So it's all because they've been saving up for Roman. So go with it. I don't know, and they're already not doing themselves any favors with, how much polarizing of a figure they've made Roman Reigns into be, or majority of people booing him. So yeah, like I said, man, I shake my head. What's your thoughts on this match and the results? And I'll say this, I thought this match wasn't, once again, as good as their WrestleMania 31 match. Like, just having this match be 2 one-sided for Brock at 34 and then 2 one-sided for Roman here, like, make the match more evenly where they're both going in. I think that's what I liked about the 31 match, because Brock dominated, then Roman came back, and then they both were going at it, and then of course you had Seth Rollins interfere towards the end. But what's your thoughts on the match, man?
Oh boy, my thoughts on this match, kind of like what you said earlier. To me, it was like SmackDown. Here comes the pain, or SmackDown versus World SmackDown game where somebody just or player one and player two just cranked up their finishes all the way up to 5, and they both of them just put maximum finishers on there, and they used up all their finishes. It's that combined with a screwy SmackDown, with a screwy WWE 2K glitch where one person was supposed to win, another person was supposed to lose, but it made this person win anyway. So it was kind of like,
right.
this match right here made my brain hurt. And a brain is not even a sensory organ; it can't feel pain, and it's managed to make my brain hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, come on now, really, WWE, is this what we doing? Come on. Like DC was saying about John Jones. Come on, WWE. Come on now. You really expect us to believe this right here? Come on now. You know what I mean? I look at this right here, and I'm just like, y'all gonna put this match together, which was okay, and it was a serviceable match, just like most matches this evening. I know I say that a lot, but this right here was another okay and serviceable match. The problem is we did not get a definitive winner. That's number one. Number two, aside of not getting a definitive winner, we got, we also get, kind of like, really, so Roman Reigns gets this title shot, and that's just that. If y'all were gonna do that, then why don't y'all just give it to somebody else? Give Finn Balor a title shot.
Yeah, man, for real. Like, he should have been demanding his rematch, his one-on-one rematch that he's still obligated to. Like, yeah, but they don't put that in the storyline. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah,
that's what makes this whole rematch clause situation. Like I don't even understand. Like, how is Roman getting these rematches? Like, he didn't even win the title. Ugh.
Yeah. Whose dick is he sucking? Whose ass is he kissing? Come on
Wow.
now. We need to know these things. How's he getting these title shots? Does he have secret photos of Vince McMahon?
Well, according to the storyline, it's Vince McMahon who's basically doing shady business behind Roman Reigns' back, as he mentioned in the promo, because Brock's his boy.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they should just turn Roman Reigns heel and make him into a conspiracy theorist. Have him walk around with a shirt that says "conspiracy victim."
Yeah, because at this point, man, the babyface run, it just ain't working. They've done everything. If WWE put as much effort into trying to get Roman Reigns over as a babyface, and they put that amount of effort into the other superstars, this company might be booming. We might be on the next rising of a boom period. Maybe not, but I guarantee you it would be a lot better, because you see with Rusev Day, they've got something staring them right in the face, and they don't go with it. Oh my gosh!
I got an idea for the WWE. Why don't they just turn Roman Reigns heel, make him into a conspiracy victim, and then have him get fired by like Kurt Angle or something, or Stephanie McMahon or something, and then just have him shoot videos. And just have him shoot videos and stuff like he's, in a faraway location, and just start having him
Go to libraries or say that he dug up a text message between Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon. His sources say his sources inside the company is that will remain anonymous. Wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. His sources remain anonymous. That they caught a text message between Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon conspiring to do all of these things. They're out to get him, and they're here. You see this right here. This is a triangle. The triangle bar on the steel cage is it's a sign of a certain type of group that shall remain nameless here. You know what I mean? That's an antiquated way of making it so that I don't get the universal title. Speaking of the universal title, you turn it upside down and you look at it at a certain angle, It's got plenty of them triangles on it. I'm not saying anything, but if you do know what I'm saying is this, you know, the big dog is being jerked around here, you know, and that's why they let me go. They let me go because they wanted me to shut up. So just have them get fired, grow a large beard, to become a conspiracy victim.
Hey man, anything at this point would probably be much better than they could do with Roman. That's another thing I don't get is they call him the big dog. So Brock Lesnar beat Taker at WrestleMania, which would make him the big dog, and then Roman beat Brock. Brock beat Roman at Roman beat Taker at WrestleMania. So okay, maybe you could say they're both the big dog, but now Brock Lesnar is beating Roman twice. So it's like, how is Roman still, as Michael Cole always says, the big dog? Like, okay.
No, he's not the big dog. He's the big dog.
Big dog. Big dog. Oh my gosh. Or with the way they book him in storylines, my stepfather says he feels like they should call Roman Reigns the French Poodle at this point.
French Poodle.
Oh, man.
The big Chihuahua.
Big Chihuahua. Oh boy, but yeah, man. I guess it sounds like we both are basically just, we don't know what the heck WWE is doing. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But hey, let's move on to the main event, Greatest Royal Rumble. This match was about like 90 minutes or so.
Royal Rumble.
I'm gonna be honest. Overall, I won't say it's not. Does it live up to its title, Greatest Royal Rumble? I'm not gonna say that, but I think it might stand.
Nope. 1992, son.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I know a lot of people love the 1992 Royal Rumble. See that match? See, a lot of this and other great Royal Rumble matches had so much story going into it, whereas this one lacked the story. But I thought from execution, from top to bottom, definitely think it's one of the better Royal Rumble matches out there. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this. This was not a drag to watch for me. I actually enjoyed it. Overall, I thought it was. I thought it was completely overall, I thought it was completely good from start to finish. So things kicks off with Daniel Bryan entering number 1 and Dolph Ziggler entering at number 2. Now I kind of get the feeling that I could imagine, I won't say it's too far-fetched, that Daniel Bryan ends up probably asked WWE management to be put in this match at number 1 and go the distance, because I would imagine this was his opportunity to finally lock it up with so many new WWE stars he hasn't had the chance to face in the past 3 years. Because if you notice in this match, Daniel Bryan took every opportunity he could to go ahead and attack any new person that he hasn't had the opportunity to wrestle yet in WWE. And mighty performance Daniel Bryan put in, and we'll go through this. So let's go through this and go happen. So number 3, you had Sin Cara come out, and he was eliminated. We got Mike Kanellis. It was so good to hear that theme song again. You know, and Mike Kanellis, I haven't seen in a while. All of us haven't seen Mike Kanellis in a while. And the thing about it is, look like he's in a lot better shape than he was. Like he's like really cut up. Yeah, it looked like he's he's toned down his body fat percentage, and he's really cut up. So much props to him getting in even better shape.
Yeah, he got some real good shape to get eliminated.
They eliminated him just like that, and it's like, wow, it's a dang shame. Like, are they just literally sitting there?
Warlord treatment.
Yeah, are they just sitting there waiting for Maria Kanellis to come back, and then like, okay, we've got something. Creative's got something for you. Like, come on now. So then from there, we've got, after that, yeah, that's right, Mark Henry was eliminated him. Now, this was, we had Hiroki Sumi. I'm not familiar with the guy's work. He's like a sumo wrestler. They made mention he was trained. He was trained at the same dojo as Akibono, and they made mention how him and Henry, the man 0001 was not a fan of that match, as he had to watch it live in person.
Don't remind. Do not remind. I try to. As a matter of fact, it never happened.
Not one of Big Show's finest moments in his career, but
it never happened.
But hey, we had Hiroki went ahead and they were pushing this up where he's gonna try, I guess, sumo wrestle Mark Henry. And Mark Henry just throws the guy out like he's just some jabroni.
Yesterday's news.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, okay, what's the purpose of this spot? Like wow, like is this guy, like, is he just someone they brought over from Japan, or is he actually in WWE development, or?
He's a representation of the women's revolution in terms of Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Yeah, they then let's see from there. Okay, you had from there you had next Kofi Kingston came out, and basically and Xavier Woods came out, and Kofi and Xavier did what I wish so many teams would do. They actually worked together all through the tournament, because I always thought
nah, son, that makes sense, man. In WWE, you cannot make sense, man.
Well, this makes sense, and I'm glad they did it.
If you're in the WWE and that's your tag team partner, that's the absolute first person you have to throw out for sure. No ands, ifs, and buts about it.
If you guys have heard our Royal Rumble review, I've stated that one of the things I loved about the 2009 Rumble was that Legacy, Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes actually worked together as a team all through the Rumble match until the end, where Triple H eliminates them, and it's just Randy who's left standing after he gets thrown Triple H. Because, like, yeah, that's the best, most logical sense to do. But as the man 0001 just alluded to, logic and WWE always don't go together. So let's see, from here you had Tony Nese. He came out, and they had this, I think, they had the spot where Kofi was hanging on the back of Xavier Woods, and they're holding off, and from there Kofi, they managed, I think they eliminated Tony Nese, I think, like that, and Kofi ends up jumping. They go. Xavier Woods gets on the top rope, and Kofi jumps off his back and does a body splash. We had Kurt Angle came out, and he was cleaning house. He eliminated Bo Dallas, Primo, and did the belly-to-belly suplex to Dolph Ziggler out of the ring. So Dolph Ziggler, I think, got like 20 minutes or so in the match. And then we had Elias Sampson come out, cut a promo.
Kurt Angle, my man.
He cut a promo. He had cut a promo, and you know, everyone in Saudi was saying the whole, you know, when he's like, WWE stands for, they were all saying the walk with Elias, and he was about to sing when he's like, oh, and then he basically took off the mic, put down his guitar, and went in the ring and eliminated Xavier, Kofi, and Connor all at once. Connor from the Ascension. And then from there, he would actually eliminate Kurt Angle. But beforehand, I wish they would have played up on this. We got to see Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan for the first time ever go at it in the ring. This was cool. This is one of the dream matches. I've always wanted to see Kurt Angle. I always wanted to see Daniel Bryan go at it, and Kurt Angle, they got in there, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I'll take a break from here before we go to the next portions of the match, but just going through some of the stuff that we just talked about. What was your thoughts on, like, this portion of the Rumble? Any things that stood out from you?
Yeah. It was a collective sigh amongst the whole wrestling community. You know, IWC, quote unquote, Smarks, everybody, and everything else. When Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle got a chance to lock it up, you know, they got to lock it up. That's number one. Number two, fuck Dolph Ziggler. Number three, have to get it in there. WWE does stand for Walk with Elias.
I wonder how many people are going to get that reference too.
You know what I mean? They have to understand that's just what WWE stands for. It's a fact, you know. You know what I mean? What else is it going to stand for exactly? They're no longer World Wrestling Entertainment anymore. You know, check their stock portfolio. They're not that anymore. They're just WWE, just three letters, you know.
Walk with Elias. Hey man, what was your thoughts on that Hiroki sumo wrestler trying to sumo wrestle Mark Henry.
Well, what a bloke. Yeah, what a bloke. Just some bloke. That's all he is, you know?
Yeah, they gave us surprises in this Rumble match, but it's from a lot of people that we didn't know. But most of them did turn out to be developmental talent or NXT talent and all that stuff. But that I didn't know what I didn't know what the purpose of that was. I mean, maybe it was to give a good representation of Japan in there. But like if you're gonna throw someone to represent the Japanese, they could be someone like Nakamura, like. What is that? That didn't give Japan a good strong
showing. I was on my way to
showing.
work. I was on my way getting ready for work at that point in time. I had on my sunglasses and everything. It was a sunny day, so I had on my sunglasses. I took them off for a moment, and I pulled with the Rock. I was like, "Who in the blue hell are you?"
Yeah, it's like, wow. Oh, hey, let's go ahead and continue on with the Rumble here.
Just another body.
Yeah, pretty much. You need 50 men. You had to go ahead and fill it up some way. So let's see. We got Breeze had got eliminated by after Fandango got eliminated, Breeze ended up getting caught on Fandango catched Breeze, and then they put him right back up, and Breeze gets eliminated. Yeah, he got caught by Fandango, and he gets eliminated anyway. And I believe
Breeze got caught by Zongo.
Yeah, pretty much. And then after that, Big E basically comes out, and I'm like, what the heck happened to Big E's belly? I like the stomach, like he's got a belly on him all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, those are the pancakes. So he's throwing the pancakes. He's throwing the pancakes at Knight, who's from the NXT. The tag team, I forget their name. I think it was Strong something. I forget the name, but he's like, "Here's pancakes, eat them, pancakes, eat them." And Strong basically, he actually did pretty good. He was throwing some really good strikes. I know he's got the amateur wrestling background, so yeah, man, he moves very well for a big guy and everything. So he had a pretty good showing, and him and Big E had went at it from there. Let's see, from there, I believe Randy Orton, he came out to a huge pop, and Randy Orton was on fire. He hit Cruz with that RKO when Cruz went trying to fly. But hey, man, Rey Mysterio actually flew and threw himself at Randy Orton, actually managed to knock Randy down. Like, I am so used to people flying at Randy Orton getting caught with an RKO, so that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see Rey Mysterio in the ring again. And let's see, what else did we happen here? You had Corbin, who came out, and he eliminated Rude, and we even had Roderick Strong in the Roderick Strong from NXT. He got in there. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about this one. Titus O'Neil basically comes running down to the
No, son. Before you say anything, man, what happened? What really had happened was Titus O'Neil got beat down by Bacon to be announced. They chucked him right under the ring just so they won't see him. You know what I mean? On the way to the ring, because they was still upset about losing their Raw Tag Team titles they had procured from Braun Strowman and Nicholas. They said it was the easiest victory they ever had, and easy come, easy go. But they jumped him on the way to the ring, and Titus Worldwide needs to be justified.
Oh man, hey, when Titus, he comes running down to the ring. Now this is the way it was shot. Titus comes in, and let's also be, I forgot to mention, Hornswoggle actually made an appearance in the Rumble. He didn't do too much. He did pick up Kofi Kingston and did a Samoan slam on him, but we didn't get to see the
tap or splash.
We didn't get to see that. But the thing is, but I'll tell you why Hornswoggle. This is what I initially thought. So they show Titus O'Neil running down, and what ends up happening is they cut to the action in the ring, and then they cut back to where Titus would initially be going through the ropes, but instead you see like you only see like his calves and feet basically under the ring, and I'm thinking, oh snap! I'm like, I'm like, they must be doing a Hornswoggle spot. I'm like, he went under there to get Hornswoggle, and he comes out and he just runs back in, and the commentators are cracking up because they don't know what happened. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like,
for about a good 10 minutes, he broke the commentary team.
Oh yeah,
they couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? So then they play the replay. And what ended up happening is right when I guess Titus gets to the matted area, he slips and literally goes sliding right under the ring. And this Lord, the man 0001 mentioned this broke the commentary team, and you knew Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn weren't going to let this one up because they showed this replay about 7 times or so. And I read the reports on the internet is that Vince McMahon apparently was in tears and completely lost it backstage and told the truck to go ahead and roll the replay over and over. Now, you talk about improvising when botches happen. Titus, he just got right back up and went right in there. I was thinking, okay, you know what, maybe he can go ahead and pull a Jerry the King Lawler from, I think, either the 96 or 97 Rumble and just hang out in the ring, and he can
97.
97? Okay, yeah, 97 Rumble. That's why he's the historian, folks. He can do that, play tribute to King's 1997 Royal Rumble appearance, and just hang out under the ring, and then come back towards the end and try to trick the audience like we all forgot about him. Like, make it look like it was something special, because I'm like, is he go over there to get something? And yeah, it wasn't, and they're never gonna let this down on Titus. I'm pretty sure Botchamania, this gave Botchamania their plenty of material to work with, and the memes have been online, and oh my gosh, it some of them had me in tears laughing. I seen ones with
I made a few of them.
Yeah, I saw one where they had the bodies hit the floor line where, you know, it's like, you know, the first part of the song is playing, is Titus running, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, and then right when
and then, still gotta send me that one.
Yeah. And then when Titus hits the ground, it's you made this one, man 0001, and I lost it on this one right before we started recording. The man 0001 made where Pennywise basically goes like, there's champions down here, and then they show
champions are made down here.
They show Titus sliding right down there. They had the one with the song where it says my legs don't work like these. Oh man, you know what? And the commentating, the genuine reactions of the commentators completely losing it. Michael Cole said something that I thought was hilarious, probably because I'm a Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. Michael Cole says Stone Cold Steve Austin won 3 Royal Rumbles. Well, you know what, Stone Cold? Top that. Oh my gosh!
That was kind of a diss.
You said what?
That was kind of a diss because you know Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, they refused to go there.
Oh my gosh! They refused to go where?
They refused to go and compete in Greatest Royal Rumble. So.
Oh yeah, I imagine. Well, yeah, I mean they're very protective of their legacies and stuff. So maybe it was, but oh man, everyone knows Stone Cold Steve Austin's my all-time favorite wrestler. He's the reason why I'm still a fan to this day, and I've always enjoyed that he's 3 winners of the Royal Rumble and everything. Oh my gosh, yeah, that one actually popped me loud. I was cracking up. I was like, wow. But hey, you know what? We should be happy. Thankfully, they didn't have those LCD boards there because that would have been very bad. Thankfully, he didn't go running into the edge of the ring because
oh man,
I mean things could have ended very, very badly for Titus O'Neil. And hey, like a true champion, he had an embarrassing moment that I'm pretty sure he knows is going to live forever on the internet. but like the true professional that Titus O'Neil is, he went out there and he kept on going. So much props, and I hope he's being a good sport about this. You know, it's part of the wrestling business. It happens, but like, you know, you got to wonder.
Hey, and what if that becomes his finishing move?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Like,
you know, the thing. Hey, what's his name? You know, Jinder Mahal, like we said, botched by selling a whisper in the wind, an air whisper in the wind. But nobody's gonna be thinking about this botch now. There is one more meme that I saw that made me lose it. They put the graphics with it. They called it Titus World Slide.
oh man, one of my favorite one is my favorite one is the one where they had the Grand Theft Auto Wasted. It was just like this. They had him go over and as soon as he tripped, they was like,
oh
dink.
my gosh.
It was funny.
Dude, this is it's because Titus O'Neil came out so serious, and then this unfortunate botch happened. It's like I always said, like, it's so like you like imagine if the Undertaker, he hasn't, and hopefully he won't. Imagine if the Undertaker ever botched his entrance. He's supposedly like a myth of this serious mythical god, and he slips right in, like,
and then he slides right under the ring. It's kind of like if you get like a glitched copy of a wrestling video game from like the early 2000s, and Edge doesn't slide in the ring, he slides under the ring.
Oh,
you know, or let's see, what if he happens to trip? What if he happens to trip while he's on the ladder in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match that way?
Well, that's called a fortunate botch, right? It always made it's like these dude. It always made me wonder what would they have done. Remember at the the 2012 Money in the Bank? What would they have done if Big Show grabbed that briefcase first and it broke? When John Cena like broke the briefcase trying to nail Big Show with it, like, oh man, if that thing was that loose, imagine if Big Show grabbed it. How in the world would they have improvised that?
Or just imagine, or earlier in that match, what would happen if Chris Jericho were to fall with that briefcase? Damn!
Wow!
I would have been. First off, that right there would have made me extremely happy. I would have been overjoyed. The feeling of happiness would have erupted from my body.
Oh yeah.
But watching that, you know, and then what if he cashes in the Money in the Bank later on that night, and Brock Lesnar happens to be legitimately knocked out, and as he's going for a finishing maneuver, he slips and falls on top of Brock Lesnar for a pinfall.
Crazy. Hey, and Michael Cole, he mentioned that this was very similar to the early NXT days when he was running with, I forget, was it the cannon?
With the barrels.
The barrels, and he ended up slipping. And there was another meme where it showed that, and then it said, "I'm having a flashback now." It was a song about flashback.
Man, y'all know Titus, man. He be tripping. That's all.
Oh my gosh. I say this all due respect. I'm a fan of Titus O'Neil. Genuine, really good dude outside of WWE and everything. So yeah, hopefully he ends up being a good sport about this, and hopefully he has a good. You gotta know this was all in the back of his mind when it happened. But like I said, he was like a true professional. But hey, let's move on. Indeed, we eventually have Braun Strowman came out and he started cleaning house. And then what happened after that? Including, oh yeah, they had this guy. Man, this is a big dude. I think his name is pronounced Baba Tunde. He was one
Baba Tunde.
Baba Tunde. Okay, yeah, he was I guess he's one of the developmentals down there. And I don't know if he's debuted on NXT yet.
He hasn't debuted on NXT yet. That's number one.
Yeah, he was a big guy, and he was doing pretty good. And then they had Strowman come out and eliminate him like it was nothing. And this is like one of those things where I wish they would kind of protect this a little bit, like you know, at least make the guy put up more of a big struggle. But I think with a lot of these guys, they were since they were like, you know, they haven't even reached the NXT level yet. They didn't want to put them in too much at too much risk to where, like, put them in things where they know don't go too far above their means of what they probably can do at this level. So, yeah, but it's cool that a lot of the developmental talent got some time to shine here. And then you had everybody was trying to gang up on Braun Strowman. Bryan was still hanging in, and by this point in the match, Bryan's chest was beat red. You know, they kept saying it looked like it was hamburger meat and everything. So he had the battle damage going and everything. And I think this is at the point that Bryan actually set the record, like almost an hour and 5 minutes, and he outdid Rey Mysterio. Hey, I don't think we got to see Rey Mysterio and Daniel Bryan go at it in this match. I would have loved to see that, but they may have already faced each other back in like the early 2010s of this part of the decade. Let's see what else happened here. I believe Lashley came out, and you even had Kurt Hawkins, who he tried to run away from Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman ran up the ramp, knocked him down, threw him back in, and threw him right back out. And somebody, I forget in this Rumble, got eliminated in like 1 sec. That was Mike Kanellis right here. He got eliminated in like a 1 second. They're trying to outdo that record, but I think it's completely humanly impossible to outdo Santino's record. It's not going to be any lower than 1 second. No one's fast enough to be eliminated in less than a second. It just ain't going to happen. So then let's see what happened from here. You had Shane McMahon come out in his first ever Royal Rumble match, and I really liked how they played up and Kevin Owens was in the ring. You had the Great Khali. Hey, the Great Khali came out in this, and he was chopping people down left and right, and he got eliminated, I think, by Strowman. No, I think Strowman and Lashley, yeah, they eliminated Khali, so it was cool to see Khali for a brief second. He got to do his thing there. And we've got yes chants. The yes kicks from Bryan and Shane. Shane even did a coast to coast on Braun Strowman. And then there was a part where Owens was yelling to everyone to team up on Strowman. And some of you might wonder out there why Sami Zayn wasn't in this match.
It's due to the heritage and background of Sami Zayn. It's the reason why he couldn't go there. You see, Sami Zayn is of Syrian descent, and and due to the conflict between Syria and Saudi Arabia, they don't want to have that conflict interfere with WWE. So Sami Zayn was most likely asked to stay back in the States.
They basically said you're going to be in the same boat as the women today, pretty much, when it comes to this.
So he got himself a
5-day vacation,
got himself a good 5-day vacation, drive around in Uber and Lyft and whatnot.
We had Jericho come out at number 50, which I know popped you, Jericho being your all-time favorite.
Yes.
And from there, this is where it basically got down to nitty-gritty here. So let's see. I believe after, Big Cass was, of course, in this, and him and Bryan went at it, and I'm trying to think what else happened here at the end of the match. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. I think Strowman eliminated quite a few people. And I believe, at the end, towards the end, Shane McMahon was going to go for coast to coast. Daniel Bryan, he did his running knees in the bottom edge of the corner. And what happened is Strowman ends up, because he was outside the ring, he wasn't eliminated, he grabbed Shane. Now, I thought what they were going to do here was the King of the Ring 2000 spot. And for those of you who remember that match, The Undertaker grabbed Shane McMahon by the throat and jumps off, literally jumps off, taking Shane with him and dragging him from the ring apron through the table. It was such a big move that in those early SmackDown games, like SmackDown 1, SmackDown Know Your Role, Just Bring It, Shut Your Mouth, those early games, they actually made that Undertaker's ring finishing move when you throw him in the ring. So I remember that move was very impactful. They even probably used it, I think, on some of the Raw intros during the time. That's what I thought they were going to do that, but they actually gave it a spin. Instead, without Braun jumping, Braun took Shane and threw him. And it legitimately, look, he threw him, and Shane went flying from the top of the rope through the announce table, and the announce table exploded. This looked great. Another one to add on Shane's insane bumps. And I guess this could be pulled off because Shane's really good at jumping and doing those elbows. So this looked awesome. This was one of the best, most devastating eliminations I think we've ever seen in the history of the Royal Rumble. So I thought that spot looked fantastic. How about you, man, Triple Zero? What did you think about that spot?
It's a pretty spectacular spot. It's pretty spectacular. It's just like, whoa, what's going on here? And it's like, oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I remember Jericho got eliminated. I think Strowman eliminated Jericho, and then I think it came down to Jericho, Big Cass, Daniel Bryan, and Strowman. Now, like I said, I'm Strowman. I believe if I don't got that right, like I said, I'm going off my initial thoughts. So yeah, Jericho gets eliminated. Jericho didn't spend too much time in this Rumble like he did like last year. Like I think last year he was in the Rumble for a long time in 2017, but Jericho, very busy right now with his touring, so maybe he just didn't want to be in there too long and put himself at too much risk because he's got so many tour dates to do, and he's still got the big show coming up on his cruise. And so basically Daniel Bryan, I think who eliminated Bobby Lashley? I forget who eliminated. Maybe I think it was Strowman eliminated Bobby Lashley. But yeah, man, it was looking pretty bad. I really like it. They were protecting Daniel Bryan pretty good. You had all these big giants in the ring, and Daniel Bryan is still finding ways to fight in there. And so it was Elias. Okay.
Bobby Lashley eliminates Elias. Strowman and Lashley eliminate Great Khali. Chris Jericho eliminates Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah, I forgot Shelton Benjamin was in here. Yeah, I forgot to mention Shelton Benjamin. Yeah.
Braun Strowman eliminates Bobby Lashley.
Shelton Benjamin had a strong start, but he went out. He was blazing on Shane. Like, wow. They even mentioned in commentary, interesting. He would go after Shane McMahon, like, I hate you. That's what I was listening. I could picture him saying while he was like Shane McMahon. When he's nailing Shane McMahon. But yeah, so guys, at the end of the Rumble, it comes down to Big Cass, Bryan, and Strowman, and Big Cass ends up eliminating Bryan Danielson, who I think I don't know the official time, but it definitely had to be some crazy number, had to be clocking in.
It was like 76 minutes.
76 minutes. Freaking Iron Man, Daniel Bryan. Phenomenal performance. Hats off to him. He really showed he can still go. He hasn't lost a step. And like I said, we got to see Daniel Bryan mix it up with so many wrestlers that we haven't been able to see in the past 3 years. So really cool. And I actually don't like it. Daniel Bryan's still working a safe style, and he's still over with the crowd. So things looking really good for Daniel Bryan. He really kept himself in shape for these past 3 years. So it comes down to Braun Strowman and Big Cass. So this is a pretty big deal for Big Cass to come right in and be in this spot. And in the end, Braun Strowman ends up eliminating Big Cass, puts him on the when Big Cass goes for the big booty, lands between the ropes, and basically Strowman shakes the ropes, and then after that Strowman eliminates and shoves him off the top rope, and Braun Strowman is the winner of the greatest, largest 50-man Royal Rumble, and he wins the trophy, and he has a title, and they believe, and Vince McMahon's in there. I forget who was that else. I know he had to be one of the representing Saudi Arabia. Who was that in there?
We'll just call him a representative.
Representative, yeah. Sorry guys if we don't know the official terms and everything. But yeah, they're in there. The trophy does look pretty cool. I'll mention that. And the title looked, I thought, gorgeous. I love when they actually put more geography on the titles. It just makes it look more prestigious. Now, like I said in terms, did it live up to its name, greatest Royal Rumble? Not at all. As the Man 0001, there have been a lot more better Royal Rumbles, especially like the 1992 Royal Rumble. And, there was a huge amount of star power, and for me, storytelling that goes into some of those Royal Rumbles you look back that were truly stand among the greatest. This Royal Rumble, however, from top to bottom, I thought was enjoyable, despite, there was quite a bit of fluff and, where they just put certain people in there and you're like, why are they even in there? But overall, though, I did enjoy the Royal Rumble. I do think it was one of the better ones of just basically being able to sit down and enjoy it from top to bottom. This did not feel like a long drag. Like, I remember the 40-man Royal Rumble, I felt was kind of like it kind of dragged a bit, but this 50-man Royal Rumble, it was great from top to finish, from top to bottom. I thought it was really well played. I mean, my only thing about this match is like, the sumo wrestler that they had come in, I'm like, they could have kept that, but other than that, Daniel Bryan put on one of the greatest performances. I would have preferred Daniel Bryan or Chris Jericho win, but obviously Jericho doesn't need a Royal Rumble win. It's not going to take away from his legacy. Same way with Daniel Bryan, because he's had his big moment at WrestleMania already. So I just kind of felt that they could win this Rumble match this time, just because since this one was going to be so inconsequential to the main story in terms of title shots and stuff, I felt like, okay, they can win this and it won't affect their WrestleMania plans. But they didn't end up going that route. And I guess maybe in the end, Daniel Bryan will go down in history like Kurt Angle and Jericho. Like, when their careers are all over, they'll be known as tremendous, great wrestlers who accomplished a lot, including big world titles, even at WrestleMania, except for Kurt Angle, who I believe has never won or successfully defended a title at WrestleMania. They'll still go down as for what great careers they had, even though they didn't win the Royal Rumble. But I am at least glad they chose a babyface that is organically over with the crowd in Braun Strowman and giving him this big moment. So definitely very well deserved. I just wish there was some stakes here in terms of, I really wish that the winner of this Royal Rumble also sort of, they plan for the future, gets to go to SummerSlam and gets the title match. So but I think with the reports that Vince McMahon is very hands-on with Braun Strowman's how his character used, and obviously they must have some big plans for Braun Strowman, so at least we can look at this and know it won't go to waste. But overall, I actually enjoyed this Rumble match from top to bottom. And I'll let you finish up. What was your overall final thoughts on the greatest Royal Rumble?
Oh boy! Well, of course, none of my guys won. However, I do think they picked the right guy to win this. And Braun Strowman definitely needed. He definitely needed this win. He definitely needed this win. And I hope he gets a title shot or something down the line. But other than that, this right here is this right here is definitely a good. This right here was definitely a good match. It was well placed, card well structured, and I really enjoyed this show. I really enjoyed this show. It was a showcase kind of show. Women were not on the card due to country customs, country cultural customs over there. But other than that, this card was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was filled with laughable moments. It was pretty good with serious moments. And it did what it was supposed to do. It gave us a showcase. This right here they say this right here is greatest Royal Rumble. I say this is biggest house show since WWE's Global Warning Tour back in 2002 in Melbourne, Australia. So this is the biggest house show they've done since that time, back when they were in Melbourne, Australia, back in 2002. Just a real showcase type of night. So yeah, I really liked this show. I think it gets 6.1 out of 10 if I'm rating it. So yeah, definitely a good show. Solid matches across the board. But yeah,
solid, serviceable matches across the board. This right here is definitely a really, really good Royal Rumble match. You know, I will definitely not forget this anytime soon.
Well said, man. Yeah,
Back to you.
like I said, I actually had fun watching this show. WrestleMania felt like a bigger deal, obviously, but honestly, unlike WrestleMania,
It felt like a bigger deal. It is a bigger deal.
Well, no, I'm just talking about in terms of looking at the show, and of course, yeah, I agree, it is a bigger deal. It's just the thing about that is that WrestleMania, like I kept saying, left me polarized. Like I felt like there was some really cool stuff that happened, and there was some stuff that had me shaking my head. Like the highs were really high, the lows were really low. This show, though, from top to bottom, actually, for the most part, delivered for me. From top to bottom, and I was fine with it. So I think the show left me more satisfied than WrestleMania did. But obviously, WrestleMania is the much bigger deal, and it had much more. Whether there were parts that we liked or parts that we didn't like, it did have more consequences in terms of the main product. So we understand WWE will be coming back to Saudi Arabia in November. All the details are not sure, and hopefully the women will be allowed. Like I said, I do feel. Sorry for all the women who have worked their butts off in this company to really be a part of to make the women's revolution and everything so much of a big deal in WWE, and they don't even get to come and make big history to this show. And they even apparently they were playing the Backlash promotions. You had I think what was it, the sports whatever the company is that it's in charge of or administration in charge of sports over in Saudi Arabia, they ended up apologizing for women being shown I guess in an indecent way as they put it out there, but hey, it's one of those things where it's taking some other parts of the world to catch up, so, for those of us out there, if you're here in America and everything, be thankful that, we're able to see women, have the rights that they do and everything. And hopefully we'll be able to see the women be able to come over finally and wrestle in Saudi Arabia. And they've already made history with Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, and hopefully this will show that over there. Over there soon. But hey, WWE got what they wanted, right? They got probably close to $200 million. So yeah, it is what it is. And now, as of Monday Night Raw, we can finally get back to the women's revolution. So yeah, overall though, I did enjoy the show, and I definitely would recommend checking it out. That being said, I know the themann0001 usually never has any plugs, so of course any social medias that are in the description below you'll be able to see. And hopefully we will be back, themann0001. I know I will be. Hopefully maybe Steve will join us from Too Sweet Cosplay. If not though, definitely be on the lookout for the next WWE review I will be doing, which will be Backlash 2018, which I believe is either a week or so away, or 2 weeks. It's not too far off. It's coming right up. So that saying mine, I'll end right off here with my plugs. So, if you obviously are a fan of WWE or professional wrestling, we'll be doing more audio reviews like this for big events that you can listen to as you go about your everyday life. Also, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, shonen manga, or anime adapted from shonen manga, make sure to check out my upcoming short film, Battle of Deception, as it's based on those types of genres. I currently have lots of videos such as the teaser trailer and the behind-the-scene interview videos right here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I release more content regarding Battle of Deception, Dragon Ball, and even WWE. And make sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at SONGOSHUAKU. All links will be in the description below.